welcome to episode 20 of my Mortal Realms review series. This week, which is a completely different week, believe it or not, from the last episode, I'm going to be reviewing issue 20. It's the same week. I couldn't maintain the pretense. But I'm really happy about this issue because it's got a big budge-off creature in it. Open! Oh. A little bit of damage on the front cover because of the creature. But we've got this dude who is the Lord Arcan. One of them is the Lord Arcanum, the other is the Evocator Prime. I'm not sure which is which, but it's on some sort of dragon griffin thing, which is nice. They've crossbred dragons and griffins. I don't know why. Or maybe they're just big giant griffins. Don't know. But what I do know is it's a fantastic looking model. Couple years old at this point, 2018, but that's within a lot of the new stuff. This has some weird parts. The staff there is attached via the cloak. I'm sure it's going to glue better when I put it together and it'll be attached by other things, but that's weird yet pretty cool. And you've got either the Lord Arcanum or the Evocator Prime, whichever one is, standing up in the saddle, riding it while it rears up and, I guess, scratches people. It's a bit weird because they seem to be... They've got horses' hooves at the back and kind of griffin's claws at the front, which is fairly weird, which is fairly cool. Worth noting, little known mythological fact: horses and griffins would never ever breed. The Hippogriff, which you see in Harry Potter, was actually a joke amongst mythologicans, amongst the zoologists of the time, because this is back when they thought that griffins were legitimate creatures and dragons actually existed. It was considered known that griffins' enemy was lions, because lions used to hunt their eggs in the mountains, and that they hated horses and would kill horses on sight because they associated horses with men and knights in armour, and considered man to be a significant threat. So there was a painting of a thing called the Hippogriff, which is a half griffin, half horse, and it was a joke. It's like, because it was a joke amongst these zoologists, they say kind of as unlikely as a hippogriff, or as rare as rocking horse shit, as my dad says, or as rare as hen's teeth and things like that. It was a joke about things that were so unlikely they couldn't possibly exist. But still makes a cool model. Random pointless mythological aside. I very rarely get to use my mythological knowledge, so, you know. Again, signed by our ubiquitous Lord Arcanum Ian. We've got our content page, and then on the first actual page we've got the Lord Arcanum, who is the guy on the big bird. The Lord Arcanums wield magical weapons known as ether staves. These weapons are wrought from sigmarite and enchanted with celestial magic. When the head of an aether staff strikes a foe, it explodes with concussive force. I assume they mean the staff, and not the foe, but yeah, whatever. Lord Arcanums are the leaders of the sacrosanct chamber, the mightiest wizards in the storm hosts of Azir. And they're capable of calling down raw power of the heavens themselves, so that's pretty cool. Again, more writing there, which I'm not going to go through because I don't want to spoil it for you. Force of personality. There are many Lord Arcanums spread across the storm host, each with their own distinct personality and preferred method of fighting. Their personalities also influence their magical aptitude and the type of magical beast that they will best bond with. Should they decide to take a mount into battle. There appear to be 3 creatures. I'll just show you their pictures. We've got the Griff Charger, the Taurolon, and the Celestial Dracoline. I always thought it was Dracolion, but it's not. It's Dracoline or Dracoline. Let's have a read. Griff Chargers. Windswift beasts as the Griff Chargers. The Windswift beasts known as the Griff Chargers are drawn to those who wield the lightning of Azir. Lord Arcanum's favourite Griff beasts are typically experts in magic to heal the wounds and restore the souls of slain warriors to their bodies. That's nifty. The Taurolon. Some Lord Arcanums travel space between realms. There they may be fortunate enough to bond with a winged Taurolon. The Tauron headbutts meteors. Well, okay. For sport. The Lord Arcanum that can return with the Celestial Rock proves themselves worthy of a rider. Proves themselves a worthy rider. So that's cool. And finally, the Celestial Dracoline. Lord Arcanums who bond with Celestial Dracolines are aggressive. It does look like a fairly brute, aggressive creature. Sorry, guys. This is just as well, for the ferocious Dracoline respects strength of will. A Lord Arcanum who rides such a beast uses their magic to bolster allied Dracolines. So that's pretty cool. Next, we've got a bit on Evocators. Magic wielding shock troops. Evocators are some of the sacrosanct chambers most. I'm going to try that again. Magic wielding shock troops. Evocators are some of the sacrosanct chamber's most potent warriors. They draw celestial lightning into their bodies, charging their weapons with blazing electricity. See, when I was young, blazing meant something else. It's like blazing electricity, man. Got another bit there, some famous evocator primes, and the equipment they're likely to have. This just gives you a thing about evocators, which I think we already know about evocators. Here we've got pictures here of the different weapon loadouts. You've got Grand Staves and Temple Blade and Storm Staves. So you basically got a big double-handed weapon or two single-handed, kind of single-handed weapons. This thing still looks a bit chunky to be wielding double-handed. Looks like, looks like we've got the single-handed version and the sword. So that's the Tempest Blade and the Storm Stave. So I'm going to read that one out first. Most evocators fight with Storm Staves and Tempest Blades. Tempest Blade, not Temple. These weapons are all heavens blessed, able to conduct the deadly lightning of Azir as it arcs through the return of warriors, dancing from weapon to weapon before leaping away to strike at their enemies. With these weapons in hand, a band of evocators can cut and scorch their way through swathes of foe with ease. If we go to the Grand Stave. If we go to the Grand Stave, evocators wield several types of weapons. The largest of these are known as Grand Staves, which, if you're wondering, translates as big stick. Two-handed weapons that glow with power. The length of the weapon allows any warrior wielding a Grand Stave to strike at foes in a wide arc. Lightning summoned by the retinue of evocators. The lightning summoned by a retinue of evocators flows through the Grand Staves before arcing out to strike warrior foes, engulfing them. And we have several evocators always, so that's pretty cool. It's got a description of the spells here. That's nifty. Lightning strikes. Lightning arcs out from the evocator's weapons, striking the enemy in explosions of white light. Celestial shield. Celestial lightning that surrounds the weapons of the evocators burns arrows and other missiles in the sky. Combined power. By combining their arcane abilities, a retinue of evocators can cast spells that empower their allies. So we have a Grand Evocator. Do we have evocators already? No, we don't. Do we have evocators already? I don't know. I shall have to look upstairs. Then it's it's got another bit on Celestial Dracolines. Like a Lord Arcanum, bands of aggressive evocators often rise Celestial Dracolines, huge creatures that dwell on the high peaks of Azir. It is the habit of these creatures to sharpen their claws on the realm stones of the heavens, known as Celestium. In doing so, they charge themselves with the power of the storm. That sounds awfully like what we used to do at school on their weird little carpet things. You used to rub your feet until you got static electricity, until you built up a static charge, and then you touch people. So that's cool. You've got the how to build here. First, you've got the Evocator Prime, and then you've got the Lord Arcanum. They're both fairly simple. Got a painting guide here. The advised colours are Retributor Armour, Reikland Flesh Shade, Stormhost Silver, Corax White, Corn Red, Cantor Blue, and Abaddon Black. So that's pretty cool, and you can see how they recommend you're going to be using a lot of gold on that, especially as you need to go 2 or 3 layers with gold. You might find using a sandy yellow base coat a way of saving on some gold. You might prefer just gold. And then again, you've got your dry brushing and your detailing to add, and then you add it to your army. Now this is everything we've got, and there are no evocators here, so that's cool. It's also got advice on how using some of the new colours you can bring up the next stage of your painting. Okay. It's got you painting your dude yellow, your gold, and then going over him with white. Now I know why they do that. It's so you can dry brush all the gold areas and it'll look cool. But frankly, if you just paint the areas you want to be gold, such as you know, all the bits they painted gold, you can dry brush over them just as easily without using quite so much paint. Painting this entire thing gold will use quite a lot of paint, particularly because you're going to have to do 2 or 3 layers as you do with gold. You might find it easier to just base coat the whole thing with a spray can, or just base coat the areas that you want to actually paint. Get them all fully base coated, maybe a little extra around the edges, then dry brush them, then go in and paint the one afterwards, just because A, it will save you a bit of time with all that painting, and B, it will save you a bit of paint, and it's only a couple of quid, but it soon adds up when you're painting an entire army. So then you've got more painting of silver and bits in there. Next we have the Ties of War, which is a nice little playthrough thing. I'm just going to... Where are you, page? New rules to play through. So it doesn't tell us what the rules are. As always, you'll need to lay your battle mat flat on a surface, place your dice, range rules and tokens next to it, set up your Sequitur, Lord Arcanum, Sequitur's Lord Arcanum, Chain Rasps and Niter Shrouds on top of a space. Oh, you are not using these guys, that's so sad. The lightnings for Stormcast and the skulls for Nighthorns. Choose who will be the Stormcast player and who will be the Nighthaunt player. Hero phase. How to cast and unbind spells. At the start of hero phase, you gain 1 command point. Now, in the hero phase, wizards may cast spells. That's all fairly standard. Retreat. If a unit retreats, it can move within 3 inches of an enemy. It must move. Yep, that's all the details there. Next, we've got the command point. The command abilities we used last turn, and they're all set up on one thing. So I guess you can choose from them now. Yeah. And the war scrolls for the Lord Arcanum. Oh, you are using your big bad. The Lord Arcanum and the Knight of Shrouds, so they're very cool. Battle round 1. Battle round 2. Okay. They've introduced battle rounds. In case you wonder what that means, you have a battle round, then you have Stormcast and Night Gaunts, or the other way around depending. It doesn't actually change how you play too much, it just introduces a new kind of phase to it. At the start of each battle round, both players roll off and the winner can decide. And the winner can decide who takes the first turn. Then the first player takes a turn following all the phases on the reference sheet. After that, the second player takes a turn. Up until now, you've had it dictated by the magazine who takes first turn. Now you both roll a dice, and whoever gets the highest gets to decide. And that's an important factor. You don't get to take the first turn, you get to decide who takes the first turn. So you can decide to take it yourself if you think it gives you an advantage, or you can decide to make the other guy take it if you think that gives you an advantage. So that's an important tactical decision pretty much there. That decision can actually really sway the outcome of a battle, so do check and think about the decision before taking it. We've got the playthrough. Roll off. At the start of the first battle phase, a player rolls off, both players roll a dice, and whoever scores the higher dice decides which player takes the first round in this battle round. If the results are tied, re-roll dice. There used to be a thing in, well, I think there is, still a thing in 40k, where you decide who takes the first turn. You only did it once, and you rolled for the dice. Me and my mate Matt would roll the same number 5 or 6 times in a row. It was really annoying and incredibly statistically unlikely, yet it seemed to happen to us a lot. So in this one, each player rolls a dice. The Stormcast player rolls a 6 and the Nighthawk player rolls a 4, so the Stormcast decides to take the first turn. Then the Stormcast player does his movement. He uses his command point, and stops there. Then the Nighthawk does his movement. Obviously, they gain a command point. They spend a command point on at the double. And in the combat phase, one sector is slain because they charge. So that happens there. And you got round 2. And again, both players roll off, and the winning player gets to choose who goes first. This time it's the Nighthawks, and it goes through Nighthawk turn, then Stormheart's turn in the same way. Battle round 3, they roll off again. This time they have a draw, so they re-roll. Oh no, sorry. You don't re-roll. After you've rolled it, whoever gets, as both players, this time both players roll a tie. As the Nighthawk player had the first turn in the previous battle round, they choose who takes the first turn in this battle round. And the Nighthawk player chooses to go first. That seems to occur. I would have thought it would have been whoever chose last turn, but it's not. It's whoever gets the first turn. So if you lost last turn and you were made to go second, the next player gets, in the next turn, if you tie, the other player gets to decide again. Yeah. That's what it says. The start of the battle round, players roll off. Whoever scores higher decides. If the result was tied, the player who went first in the previous turn chooses. So it's in the first turn you re-roll. In the second turn, it's the player who went first in the previous turn then gets to choose. So sorry, Twitch. So that's how that works. Battle continues. Play through the round until only one player has models remaining. If that player wins the game, afterwards you can add an evocator prime to your games using the water roll below. It doesn't say what you'll be adding on the other side, or whether you'll be swapping them out, but I suppose it's up to you. And again, we've got this advert for the Realm of Life saying next turn it's going to be next week it's going to be awesome. They haven't said anything, and they haven't included anything saying why we got 2. I don't think we missed a week, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're trying to catch up a little. I don't know what's going on. Whether or not they're going to go back to 1 weekly releases now as things are easing up, or what's going to happen there. Next is Coming to the Mortal Realms. Issue 21, you're getting more dread size, so that's pretty cool if you're an undead player. Cool. I think my daughter's looking forward to that. And issue 21 covers Dread Scythe Harridans again, the Chaos Gods, and your first battle plan and war scrolls. So you're not going to be set. It sounds like you're going to be getting more freedom in the next one to set up how you like. Then issue 22, you're getting Mephiston Red and Rakarth Flesh, which are both nifty colours. And you get to discover the Chaos God Khorne. Won't that be nice? And on that one, it's covering Khorne the Blood God, Mephiston Red and Rakarth Flesh, your first game with the full rules. So that's pretty nifty. So that's going to, in 2 or 4 weeks' time, depending, we're going to get our first game with the full rules. So that sounds awesome. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you watched these 2 episodes back to back, kudos to you. If you didn't and you let them wait a week, kudos to you as well. I will see you next time magazines are available. Bye guys. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure why, but I am. So if you like it, see me there, and please tell your friends. Thanks very much. Bye.